Division turned on Seth Rollins, RIP Division. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's excited about it, everyone's wondering what's gonna happen next. And just thinking about the views I got gets me half chubbed, people. Rollins was running his mouth about how he doesn't need Division, and eventually Braun Breaker had enough. Everyone's wondering why Braun, why? Why Bronson, why? Why Paul, why? And in this video I want to visit all the possibilities. Now I do have my theories. I want you to take a look at Braun Breaker right here. Exactly, you get it. Seth Rollins hit Breaker's fake tan. Big no-no. And Braun took it personally. To be fair, he was, entering a dangerous territory. People, I feel like if done right, we could have the closest thing to the Bloodline storyline. The storyline that got us excited about every single SmackDown episode. People, the possibilities are absolutely endless unless WWE poops the bed. I guess we'll find out in a week. Now, if you're looking for the technical answer, according to Mike Johnson, the reason Seth Rollins was kicked from Division was because he got injured during his match against Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. But people, with that being said, it still happened. It's not like he got taken out by one of the babyfaces. It's not like he can come back after a month and act as if nothing happened.
Guys, we're cool.
Even if it was an impulsive booking decision, you simply can't have Seth Rollins act as if nothing happened. If that is the case, I'm gonna be, very disappointed. But here's what could happen out of this. First of all, the rise of Braun Breaker. This is something I wanted in the first place. I kept complaining about how I do like Division, but I always felt like Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman could have worked so much better. He is kinda like the next Brock Lesnar, isn't he? And you know, it always sort of felt like Seth Rollins didn't necessarily need Paul Heyman. You have two guys who are great on the microphone who didn't really have that much chemistry. A lot of times it just kinda felt forced. And when it comes to Braun Breaker, I always kinda dislike the idea of him being a bodyguard. Like, he does have a lot of personality, he is very charismatic. Him taking orders from Seth Rollins never really worked for me. Brother, I feel like the WWE creative didn't really understand how already established Braun Breaker is in the WWE. In some weird way, even though he was with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, it felt like a demotion from what he was already doing. Here's the weird thing about Braun Breaker, people. You know, he's still young, he's still fresh, he's new in the WWE, all things considered. I want you to take a look at this, people. I want you to take a look at Braun Breaker with the World Heavyweight Championship. Hot take, hot ass take, hotter than my ass. I feel like he's kinda ready for the championship. You know? It's kinda weird saying this, he's still so new. I kinda feel like he's ready for the championship, or at least enter the program for the championship. Look, obviously it's not the right time, but Braun Breaker winning the championship should absolutely be the end goal of all of this. Kill what I created. Okay, now we're talking about what Seth Rollins could do about it. Division has a beef with everybody on the roster, right? They have drama with every single babyface on the roster, so it puts Seth Rollins into a very uncomfortable situation.
Punky, gotta apologize.
In all seriousness, what's gonna happen is that other babyfaces will be forced to work with Seth Rollins. There's gonna be a lot of drama, just like Drew McIntyre refused to work with Jey Uso because of how many problems the Bloodline created in the WWE, how many, opportunities got stolen from Drew McIntyre. Same thing right here. Somebody like CM Punk, somebody like LA Knight, they won't wanna work with Seth Rollins. A reminder, by the way, I'm talking about the possibilities. This could lead to LA Knight or CM Punk or somebody turning heel in a way that actually makes sense. Even if Seth Rollins feels apologetic about it, even if he's a good help to LA Knight, CM Punk, the Usos, it could be LA Knight or CM Punk who will never forget what Seth Rollins actually did. And these are the best kind of heel turns, when the babyface who turns heel actually has a point, has reasons to turn heel. The only problem is both LA Knight and CM Punk are very over as babyfaces, and I'm not quite sure if I want to see them turning heel. I'm talking about all the possibilities, so many layers in the story, and I hope at least some of it is actually gonna come true. For example, Seth Rollins and the Usos. Turns out, they're actually doing just fine. They're doing great against Division. It's almost like a friendship, or at least a very good partnership. Roman Reigns comes back, which I assume is after Christmas. So now we have even more drama. As you guys know, the Usos and Roman Reigns don't really get along right now, but they're just fine with Seth Rollins. So what Roman is gonna do, he ain't gonna be happy. And I'm not even talking about face turns, heel turns. It doesn't necessarily matter as long as the stories are good. complicated. I mean, WWE been showing you lately that you don't necessarily need a babyface versus a heel rivalry to have a decent storyline. I kinda like that it's a bit more complicated than that. Maybe the rumors of Seth Rollins being injured are false. Maybe the reason Roman Reigns and the Usos have so many problems is because Seth Rollins is turning babyface, which again could make so many things that much more complicated. You could see Brock Lesnar joining, which obviously leads us to War Games, where Brock Lesnar is obviously with Team Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. They already kinda teased Brock Lesnar joining, or in this case, I guess, almost replacing Seth Rollins. So you have Brock Lesnar with Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins is forced to work with the babyfaces. By the way, this could be one of the toughest looking factions ever. So much meat. So much meat, man. Oh my god. So much meat. Now, I don't see Brock Lesnar in the faction as a regular thing. Like, Brock is a part-timer. He's not gonna be on every episode of Monday Night Raw. But again, we're talking about possibilities. What about Braun Breaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Eventually, this is all gonna fall apart, people. All of it. Braun Breaker finally turns face and faces Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which is pretty much a dream match in my opinion. Literally even screams WrestleMania main event if, let's say, Brock Lesnar is the World Heavyweight Champion and Braun Breaker is a Royal Rumble winner, or, you know, in general, just challenging Brock Lesnar to a match. Now, the Division name wouldn't make any sense anymore. I mean, Seth Rollins came up with it in the first place, and Brock Lesnar in a faction called Division, all about the future of the WWE, doesn't necessarily make sense. He's not even the present. Brock Lesnar is the past. But this again makes me question the legitimacy of Seth Rollins being injured. Maybe all of this was planned the moment we saw Paul Heyman reuniting with Brock Lesnar. But what if Austin Theory joins? It's hard to believe these rumors anymore, people. It's really hard to believe these rumors, but it would kinda make sense. He's also often called the future of the WWE. And here's the thing, people. I don't think the Division needs a leader. If you don't have the leader, everybody looks equal, everybody looks like they're on the same level and feel more important. I feel like Heyman is enough to pull all the strings.
Seth Rollins, I was always building the future of the WWE.
You know, stuff like that. It's kind of crazy how we're all building this idea of Austin Theory in the faction. It just kind of gets him over with the internet fans in a way. I can't explain it, but it's not like we don't even know if it's gonna happen. But the idea has been planted so deep right now, I feel like the crowd would absolutely lose their minds. There's also a clip of Paul Heyman introducing Austin Theory in some wrestling promotion. If you saw the clip, Paul Heyman announcing Austin Theory sounds pretty cool. The problem is, I don't really know how much I believe this could happen anymore, because Meltzer said he's gonna be in a War Games match with Brock Lesnar and also Seth Rollins, which we all know can no longer be the case. I guess at this point my only hope is Meltzer actually heard from some sources that Austin Theory is planned to be in the storyline in some capacity. What about the worst case scenario? Okay, let's talk about it. You know, the possibilities are endless. Give me more in the comments below. We could talk about it all day, all night, people. These are just some things I would really love to see. What about if it's just another swerve? Seth Rollins did it already. It's Saturday night's main event, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and Division helps Seth Rollins retain the championship. They reunite just to beat CM Punk, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's definitely a possibility. In some f***ed up world, people, I see the possibility of WWE realizing, if the rumors are true, Seth Rollins is injured. Let's get people excited about Raw. They're gonna watch next week. They're gonna be excited about what's coming next, about the possibilities. So we got the ratings, we got the excitement, but also it doesn't mean anything. Now we can only hope I'm pulling this out of my juicy butt. Not true, by the way. I lost like 14 pounds. It's just there's nothing. There's nothing down there. Coco Jumbo got bigger though. Look, the thing is, watch the show and they'll tell you. Most of the time. But look, I wanted to know how people actually feel about it right now. I checked Reddit and people are pissed. Just watch the show! I get the point, but also, people are excited. Bitching about it is probably some loser-ass behavior, but being excited about something, speculating, how is that a bad thing? It means people are excited about the product, or at least the possibilities of the product. It seems like we got a lot of changes in the WWE recently, and it kinda tells me that maybe a reset button is coming in the WWE. Maybe they already hit that motherfucker. People, WWE gave us a cliffhanger for the first time in months. I actually wanna see what's gonna happen on Monday Night Raw. It's been a while. I'ma be completely honest with you. It's been a while I was actually excited about a WWE TV show. This is wrestling at its best, and if the creative geeks in the WWE creative aren't going to ruin this, the potential, the possibilities are absolutely endless, my beautiful people. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know more possibilities in the comments below. Watch my other videos. Appreciate that, the great one. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.